To each and every one, I like to say what's up. I like to say I really am proud of you. I like to say to all my fellow Niji and all my Nijiettes and my warriors and my conquerors and my unconquered people, I would like to wish you greetings. And as I was sitting here rolling up one to burn and be thankful and humble and appreciate and be still and peace be still and know that God is God. It had dawned on me how many of my people collectively don't even know about a renowned figure that had done more for our people collectively than Martin Luther King. Woo! Everybody, that renowned figure I am referring to is none other than the one and only Adam Clayton Powell.
Try to cut my remarks down, but after all, I'm a Negro Baptist preacher, you know. Nobody can control the Negro Baptist preacher, even God sometimes can.
Adam Clayton Powell was a Georgia son of a Baptist preacher who had a huge church in Georgia, who was a pillar of the community and did a lot of things for the people in the community, and he had a large following. And after he died, he left his church to his son, and his son assumed the position. Although his son, as you can tell, was a street. He was street. He had that thug. He had that street in him. For lack of a better term, I'm saying street and thug, not in a negative way, but I'm saying it in a way that he was out here. He was out here, you know. And however, instead of going against his father's wishes and just doing the opposite of what his father did, he did them both. He assumed the role of his dad, that his dad had built him up and took over the church. But his vision was larger than his dad's, and he seen the potential in what his dad was sitting on all the time, and he organized the congregation of that church, and the monetary stuff that he collected out of the collection plates from these people, he filtered into a political force. So much so that he rose from the pulpit all the way to Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Adam Clayton Powell. He have gotten more laws passed for blacks back then when there was nothing for blacks than anybody preaching with words. Not saying, listen, it's facts. I'm not taking shots at King. But King didn't get no laws passed.
But nevertheless, I will try to make them like a woman's skirts, long enough to be respectable, but short enough to be interesting.
Adam Clayton Powell, Jr. was the pastor of America's largest Protestant congregation, a seminal leader in the fight for racial justice, and a U.S. congressman. As a minister, he preferred nightclubs to prayer groups. His political career was dogged by accusations of financial chicanery and neglect of duty, and his motives were often in dispute. But by 1965, he had become the most powerful black man in American political history.
The white liberal was monopolizing the Negro's civil rights fight.
That's right. This is state thing. State thing.
And he was allowing into his cartel, his monopoly, only those Negro liberals who would get along with him.
I like the way he thumbed his nose at white folks. Now, I tell you, that spoke to my heart. See, if you've had the black experience in America, it would speak to you.
He was saying things that we had not dared to think The tone of his speech was one of real defiance, of real anger. It was scary what he was saying, but it was also exhilarating to hear him.
What we know, oh, we know that we are the children of God. And there is a God who rules above with a hand of power and a heart of love. And if I'm right, thank God I'm right. He'll fight my battle, and I'll be free someday. Therefore, stand together, children. Work together, children. Fight together, children. Work together, children. Fight together, children. Go together. Walk together, children. Don't you get weary. Great camp meet in the promised land.
But once in a lifetime, a man like that comes along. Once in a lifetime.